Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabel and this is my library. In today's video, we will continue setting up for our 2026 reading journal and updating more of our reviews for January 2026. Hi guys, I'm so happy you are here with me today, spending some time working on our reading journals. And I hope the weather's treating you well. It is incredibly cold here in Miami, which is such a weird thing to say, I feel, but it's definitely been very, very cold these last couple of days in January, and I know it's going to get even colder at the beginning of February, and I'm talking about cold. Even for people elsewhere, I think low 30s is pretty cold. So I'm happy to have some time to work on my reading journal. January is close to ending and I have a little bit that I need to get done, and I'm happy you're here with me. If you are new to my channel, I'm so happy that you are here. Please subscribe if you are interested in lots of stationery content, reading journals, hauls, and of course, bookish content. So I will have a lot of my playlists linked down below for you. I have been working on my 2026 reading journal, which is this that you're seeing right now. I have been working on it for a couple of months, trying to get it perfect and set up for 2026. But there are still so many things that I need to add and get done. And of course, I need to continuously be updating for January because I am doing monthly reviews of a lot of the books that I am reading, which is something brand new in my reading journal, and I'm trying to stay on top of it. As I'm chatting with you now, I'm doing a quick little flip through of everything that I have so far set up for my 2026 reading journal. If you're interested in seeing how I did any of these things, I have plenty of videos linked down below in my playlist. Just click one of them and you'll be able to follow me along as I've set up a lot of these trackers and set up these layouts and designs for my reading journal. Today, I believe we're going to get caught up with one brand new tracker, and then we'll update one book review for January. We're getting very close to the ending of the month, and I want to make sure I have everything set up for the start of February. And I believe this is the last page we worked on. Again, I have created my entire reading journal with you guys. So there are videos for every single spread that you saw here. I start off with some entry-level setup videos, and I quite literally number them all the way to like 15 or 16 as of when I started updating my January spreads. So you can find those in chronological order and just kind of watch them and see which of those spreads caught your eye and maybe it's something that you want to include in your reading journal. So today my goal is to work on my blurb game. So the blurb game is a fun little challenge I like doing every year. I've been doing it for a while. Last year I did track it and it got a little bit messy in my reading journal. I'll go ahead and show you that now, but I was not super happy with it, and I know I mentioned to you guys that I wanted to change it up a little bit. This is my 2025 reading journal. And so the blurb game, I started, first I'll tell you now how it works, of course, but I want to show you here. So basically what I started doing with the blurb game is whatever book I was currently reading, as you see here, I read Haunt Sweet Home by Sarah Pinkster. And when I read that, one of the authors that blurbed Haunt Sweet Home was Sarah Gailey. And so she made her typical comment like, oh, great book, or good plot twist, or, you know. And so what I do is I look at the blurbs and I find a blurb by an author that I like, or an author that I currently have books on my TBR for. And that's what happened. I saw Sarah Gailey. She's an author that I enjoy reading from. I had The Echo Wife on my shelf that needed reading. So while playing the blurb game, the fact that I read Haunt Sweet Home and it was blurbed by Sarah Gailey, I immediately added to my TBR The Echo Wife because it was blurbed by her. And so this little arrow here indicated that this led me to read this. And then that's kind of where I left it. I believe The Echo Wife then didn't really have a blurb by an author that I currently had. The point of this is not to add to my TBR, but it's to help me remove books from my TBR. And sometimes it gets like to be a little bit long, you know. I remember like when I read 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered by Sadie Hartman, someone who had blurbed that was Paul Tremblay. And I had on my shelves The Cabin at the End of the World for years, and I had not read it. And I said, this is perfect. So I put it on my TBR and I read it. And then that was blurbed by Stephen King, and I had The Long Walk as a book that I had been wanting to read for a really long time. So I went ahead and added that. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn was also blurbed by Stephen King. So both of these books led me to The Long Walk, and so on and so forth. So it's fun to track. It's just difficult to figure out how I'm going to map it. I loved this. I really did. And now I'm tempted to kind of use it again. But I feel like it took up a lot of space. So I actually had to continue the blurb game back here. For those of you who plan with me a lot, you already know the ins and outs of my reading journal. But yeah, it led me over here. So this was my second page. And again, it was a lot of like the back and forth and, you know, but I do love the way it looks on these little things. So, you know, I probably shouldn't have looked at this to, you know, explain it to you, because now I'm tempted to use these again. My idea was, I was thinking I was just going to write them and then do an arrow leading me to the next book, and then that book leading to another book. And, you know, it just gets very messy because it's not like one direct link. So now when January is over and I go to update the blurb game, right, for the first time ever, let's say I read 8 or 9, 10 books in January. Out of those 8 or 9 or 10 books, I'm sure more than half, right? Like maybe 6 or 7 are going to be blurbed by authors that I have on my shelves. And those are going to be added now to my TBR. But it's not one consecutive arrow. It's like all these like arrows everywhere, you know? So I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to think. But now you know basically how this works. And it's just a fun little way for me to pick books from my shelves, guys. I love the whole purpose of my reading journal is to track and do challenges and make reading even more fun, you know? And so that's basically what I did last year. This year, I walked in here today thinking I wanted one thing, but now I'm tempted with those little stickers. Maybe I go ahead and incorporate them. I'm going to go ahead and look now to see what I want to do. But yeah, you basically now kind of know the gist of how the blurb game works. It is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. However, I know that certain editions of the books don't have blurbs. So for example, the book of the month ones, I have one here next to me. So the book of the month ones don't have those blurbs. So those are books that kind of, I don't use this for, you know, so these kind of like don't get added to the blurb game because they haven't been blurbed by anyone. But any other kind of book that is not like, you know, one of those will have been blurbed. See, like here, this one is blurbed by Christie Greenwood, and then you always find more blurbs throughout, usually. Sometimes on the back, sometimes toward the ending. Yeah, this one might only have one. See, so this is an example. So this has one blurb, right? So when I read this, one of my favorite books of all time, Christie Greenwood, author of The Love of My Afterlife. Well, I would go ahead and add this and put Christie Greenwood with The Love of My Afterlife, because that's a book that's currently sitting on my shelf that I want to read. So it's almost like a sign to read that book. And if you go to my books that I want to read in certain years, I believe The Love of My Afterlife is right here. So it's part of the 25 books that I wanted to read in 2025 that got left over. So I view it as a perfect opportunity to say, hey, I read this, now I'm adding this, you know? So if this were like a random author and a random book that I don't have anything by that author, or I don't have that book, I don't play the blurb game with it. Okay, that's kind of how it works. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have some thinking that I need to do now because I need to decide, what am I going to do? Am I going to use my little squares? I kind of love the way the little squares look. I can't lie. I mean, I really do like how that looks. But I must admit, I do not like how much space that takes, you know? So I think I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, write the title out, the author, and then a little arrow underneath that sends me somewhere. And then that little arrow can maybe send me other places. I'm just thinking maybe I skip like a certain line when I'm writing it, you know, we'll see. But I think anything is better than the squares that take up like this much space, right? This top corner, like that entire thing. And the moment I put another book, I'm kind of done. So I think I'm going to omit the squares for now. If I end up wanting to do them, I might do them next year or whatever, you know. But I think this year, I need to fix that I ran out of space in my reading journal for that. And so I'm going to find another way of doing it. So I'm thinking I want to use maybe like one of these really pretty washi tapes that has like a bookshelf. I think I want to do something with this, something like that. I really also like these stamps to maybe decorate the sides with. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with that. And then just do minimal designing. I won't have to add anything to the spread because I won't be able to do that until I start my official update for the month of January at the ending of this month, when I can start doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. As usual, I will fast forward you through this so you can kind of plan with me while I'm doing it. And I'll bring you back once I have decided how I want to do this. right, guys, so I decided to keep it pretty simple, simply again, because I know I'm going to run out of space. You know, if I read over 100 books and maybe let's say half of those blurb something and blurb something, you know, it's going to get a little bit messy. And this year in 2026, because of my reviews, I don't think I'm going to have that much space to play with. So I kind of want to keep my blurb game, if at all possible, contained to this spread. So I think this will facilitate that. But I do love this lovely little sticker. I wanted to have the bookcase shelves at the top and the bottom. And I did love these little drop cap letters for my title. I don't want to write out the whole thing. I wanted to make it pop a little bit. So I think it's great. We will see the practicality of it once I start looking at how many books I read in January that are blurbed and how this ends up going. And we will decide if this is the route we want to take. But for now, I think that's where I want to go. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and go to our January reviews. And let's see. So I did a review for The Place Where They Buried Your Heart and 11/22/63, Elvira, yours truly, Elvira, and Fences. So those are the current ones I have. So today I'm going to work on my one-page review of The Crash by Freida McFadden. I think that's the one that I want to do a one-page review on. I did have some thoughts on this one, so I want to include it. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see what I want to use to decorate. I am going to have to look for some maybe wintry stuff. So I'm going to look through all of my ephemera and my stickers and see what I come up with. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and work on this one now. I will speed you through this process and then we'll come back and reconvene. All right, guys, so I am done with my review of The Crash. This was difficult to find stickers that kind of worked with it. So I decided to go with this dark sky with the stars because it is like dark. It is dark in the night when the crash does happen. And I decided to go with this sticker because there's some symbolism there, but just because, you know, of the moon and this like maternal, motherly kind of figure of the angel. And, you know, I feel like it tied into a little bit of like the themes of motherhood and protection and all of that we kind of see in the book. I don't want to obviously say too much because this is a thriller and I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. But yeah, I really liked how this one came out as well. I am liking the one-pagers. Obviously, these 2-page spreads are for books that I have a lot to say. But I am liking the one-pagers. I think it makes it fun and still allows me to put my thoughts down. And yeah, we'll see if there's any other books for January that I want to kind of review once we finish the month of January. But in that update video, we'll play the bingo board. We'll go ahead and mark off what I read. We'll do some stats. And then any other books that I do end up reading that I don't write reviews for, I do have to play around a little bit on how I want to showcase them because I still want the little pictures there. And at least the title, the author, and the rating, I want to do that. So maybe I can fit them in on a page, you know, a couple of them like this, maybe 4 to a page, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, with just the basic info for each of them there. So I think I'm going to end up doing that for whatever books I do not want to do a full page review on. And that will kind of wrap up the months. All right, guys. So thank you so much for planning with me today. I'm feeling like we're getting closer to completing my setup, although there are still quite a few things I have to set up for to fully be ready for 2026. I have to do some stuff for my TBR jar, my scavenger hunt game, my buddy reads, my readathons. Yeah, there's still a lot, guys. So my subscription and pre-orders, my Stephen King tracker that I want to do, my checklist for backlists of favorite authors, all of these other book clubs I haven't done anything for yet. See, there's so many of them. So yeah, there's a couple things that I still need to get to, but you know, we'll figure it out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and planning with me and spending some of your time with me. I will have all the videos that you might need linked down below. I did pull out quite a few of my sticker books. If you are a sticker book person, I have several videos up on my channel where I haul and do flip throughs of all the sticker books. I will have those linked down below for you so you can watch them and kind of decide if there's any that you want to order. I will also have some discount codes for you for stationery. If you are interested in ordering some stationery, I do have some discount codes on there for you from EB and Journal Say. Both of those will have the links and they will have my discount codes in case you want to use them. And that's pretty much it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Please like this video and leave me some comments. Let me know how your reading journal is going and if you have any ideas for things you'd like to include in your reading journal for 2026. You can also let me know how your January is going. How did that reading month treat you now that we are coming close to the end of it? Have you been able to read everything you set out to read? And have you been reviewing your books? And have you found any 5 stars? Thank you guys again for watching. I look forward to talking to you in my next video. Bye!